Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Yvette. What's up, Yvette?
Hey Joe, I'm good. I'm awake and I'm drinking coffee.
Nice. I'm drinking coffee, water, everything. So the first part of the finale is in a matter of hours, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, 12, just over 12 hours.
Yeah. Tyson
Yeah.
Fury versus Chibnall. Ha! I see the comments already.
They're
I didn't
coming.
even get to watch that fight yet. I heard what happened though. Stephen Donald said, "Can we get a Tyson Fury versus Chibnall?"
Hey,
So
better
here's the
entertaining than
thing.
Doctor Who at the moment.
What happened to the Cyberman Brigadier?
The
Where did he
Cyberman
go?
what?
The Cyberman Brigadier.
Cyberman Brigadier. Yeah,
Where'd
good
he go?
point. Because he shot off into space, didn't he?
Yeah. Is he
Yeah.
going to be the Hail Mary pass? Is he going to save the Doctor from?
Well, I'd say unlikely, but as I said in my stream, I haven't got a bleeding clue what's in Chib's head.
I know.
Anything is possible, literally anything.
We got a Cyberman Brigadier.
We
We got the Doctor that can reprogram the Cybermen, if you remember handles.
Yeah.
So she can do that, and
she can't be converted either.
Well, technically she shouldn't be able to, although is something wrong with her regeneration that she will be able to?
No,
I don't know.
I suppose he could twist that, but yeah, it's. I can't apply logic to it, and you know what my brain's like.
Right,
so,
and because the 12th Doctor reprogrammed the Cybermen to attack people only with two hearts, is that going to be a thing that they killed Gallifrey because of the Doctor's intervention?
Possibly. One of my theories, with the alternate timeline we were running with, if the Master has worked with Cybermen before, as we well know, and in the Cyber War, which is a bit exciting because they've actually never done the Cyber War. It's always been talked about, so it should be quite interesting. He may have used the Cybermen to blow up Gallifrey, but all this would have been on the alternate timeline anyway. And if she has to go back and correct it all at the end, Gallifrey would be just undestroyed. Sorry, I can't.
Well, what would have to happen is it would have to be that she undoes it, but she can't undo her own timeline. So, in other words, she has to make the Master and herself believe that Gallifrey is destroyed. So that way the events of Spyfall actually happen.
Yeah. Well, it's been done before, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's never been where her timeline was changed.
No.
It was always reset.
Well, it was changed, sort of, in the 50th anniversary, because they didn't destroy Gallifrey.
Well, not really, because you don't really know if it was or not. Because
well, yes, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
A similar sort of balance on that, where they don't know, but they changed it from actually him hitting the button to actually him not hitting the button. So, yeah, I mean, that's a change in timeline, even a small one there. So
yeah, but his mind was erased from the event, so it happened as a.
Oh yeah. Well, I think if you change a timeline, your brain. Only the epicenter tends to remember in sci-fi, you know.
Right.
So I mean, the alternate timeline is the only thing that actually makes sense to me now, because he said it's not an alternate universe. So by changing the timeline, yeah. So if a change in the timeline, Ruth could be instead of Will Hartnell. And that's why she's got the TARDIS. And that fits logically. But of course, Jodie's going to have to go back and change it all at the end. Otherwise, I think Cardiff would be burnt to the ground. But at this point, you know, I'm struggling even with that sanity. But
the thing is, if the timeline is altered and the alteration or the anomaly has to go back in time to undo itself,
then
I mean, because obviously for some reason they have a memory now. And they have a memory now because the timeline was altered.
Yeah.
So they have
We
the
don't know
memory of
when
this
it
whole
yeah.
timeline. So now they have to, just sort of like when the master started hearing the drums, and then it was all because of Rassilon, and then now the master doesn't hear the drums anymore. So once that was done, that was it. So, you know, and memory was implanted and put into their memory only to be activated when the 13th Doctor was around and when that particular master was around.
Yeah.
So if that thing gets altered back, then there you go. It's cancel each other out.
Yeah, pretty much. So we don't know where the altered timeline splits. Does it
So
split
Root
when Root
sacrificing
was
herself.
discovered, or that would mean Jack is an alternate timeline? Jack.
Well, no, I would think Jack is from the Doctor's timeline, and then you know what? It could go into play. You could really do some crazy stuff with it.
Yeah.
Where you could say that Captain Jack is in an alternate timeline is the face of Bo, and then you could start really playing with that.
You see, that's intelligent stuff that Chibnall wouldn't come up with, though.
Right. That the timeline has been bouncing back and forth between two different points.
Yeah, I mean, we could go right back to the beginning, Joe, where she was shook out the TARDIS. I mean, the TARDIS spat her out.
But also the fact every time the Doctor travels to the future, it's an alternate timeline. So everything to do with the face of Bo is an alternate timeline. And this one key event could be that Captain Jack saves himself from being chopped into pieces and becoming just a head. So it could be because of the Cybermen that he becomes the face of Bo. And because of stuff that was altered, the face of Bo is only from an alternate timeline they visited. And in other words, now that timeline has been, changed, they could never, like the Doctor can never visit that timeline where face of Bo exists, can never visit new Earth because it doesn't exist. But like as a traveler, it exists at some point in time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen before in Who, he can't go back to certain places he's gone to previously because of what he's done. So,
like, he can never go say, here's the thing, he could technically never go see Susan because Susan technically now is in an alternate reality because the timelines change where the Daleks, I guess, won't take over, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yes, that's a very good point.
You know what I'm saying? So, certain things in the future, I mean, a Doctor's protected from because it's the future.
Yeah.
And every time you change things. So, in other words, that's another tricky subject is when you're dealing with...
It's the ripple effect. It's called the ripple effect.
Because you're dealing with time travelers like Gallifrey. And now this Gallifrey has to know of the previous Gallifrey's existence. So it's sort of like the Matrix and the Architect and the previous things of the One, where this Gallifrey will probably do whatever it can to keep its existence going.
Yeah.
And Root has a part to play with that. So,
I mean, the other thing is, Mark and Paul, who are absolute experts in history of Gallifrey, they were talking the other day about Rassilon, Omega, and the other. The three.
Well, here's the thing. The other was not canon to us. That was canon to Big Finish.
Yeah. However, just been reading an article where it's sort of in some way or another is trying to say that the other is Susan's actual grandfather or whatever. She's not actually from Gallifrey, neither's the Doctor, and infinite regenerations, etc. Personally, I think that's all too clever for Chibnall, but
for one, the Doctor was around for Rassilon and Omega because when they encountered Omega and Three Doctors, obviously they never met.
No.
And it wasn't a thing like even Omega didn't know him either.
He did have one of the hands of Omega.
Yes, but the point is, I understand, but the point is that They never met. He didn't know him. Omega would have known him even if it was a regeneration.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So, and Rassilon also, he wasn't around during the time of Rassilon, although there's this weird history with the Doctor that they're kind of shaky on. Like, for some reason, something about the Doctor, like, they want to kill him, but they don't. But you know what I'm saying? It's like kind of weird. Like, you don't know what it is. And Rassilon almost killed him, but then again, you could blame it on old age of that incarnation. Like, if he regenerated and he was younger, would he think differently than to shoot the Doctor? Because, you know, like when the Doctor was getting old, in time of the Doctor, he was getting all senile and stuff, and he's saying,
we never found out who that woman was.
I think the woman was his mother.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that his mother was alive shows that there's hope. That whatever you're going to do, buddy, do it quick because I'm alive. So that means you could survive past this. So I feel by him seeing her, he knew his mother, regardless of regenerations, because you just know your mom.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, she's here. That's a sign for me to do something differently, and basically stop this. That's what I thought.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But it was never explained fully. I mean, he might be drawing on that. We never know.
I mean, the thing is, Russell T Davies was not allowed to say that.
No.
That she was the mother. He just said the woman.
Yeah.
And there was somebody in the BBC, or I guess part of the original creators of Doctor Who, that would not allow him to make it that. This is why I don't think that Chibnall can change canon, because somebody would step in and say, nope. You're not allowed to do that.
I think he's going to change it, but he's going to then have to put it back. He's going down that route. That is what I'm hoping for, Joe. Seriously, because I still have a pit in my stomach about this whole thing.
But I really would be. I mean, he's saying get a drink, this, that. I would really be sick to my stomach if he makes it that canon is destroyed.
I think at the end of this episode tonight,
we'll be sick to our stomach.
We will.
Supposedly we'll be sick to our stomach, but then the second part would fix it, supposedly.
Hopefully.
In theory.
Hopefully. I think he's going to go down the road of destroying everything, but then it'll all have to be fixed in the Timeless Children.
Well, here's the thing. If the Doctor is going to be converted, and she becomes a Cyberman, but she has limited control over her faculties and her body, then the course of action would be for her to alter the timeline purposely so that way she doesn't get turned. So basically creating the root thing so the timeline overwrites itself.
Yeah.
And then timeline's so screwed up that she could probably reset herself anyway. You know what I'm saying?
There are so many scenarios with an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
There really are. I think we can surmise as much as we like, Joe, but we're going to just have to wait and see what the hell Chibs is going to do. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
Yeah. First of all, here's the thing. Already Chibnall gave away what he's going to do, because he's talking about Series 13, and he's talking about, oh, I would love to have the Ponds. Oh, I would love to have this. Oh, I'd love to have... Well, if we were going to have that, then you would have to restore the universe back to the way it was, because the Ponds wouldn't exist. This one wouldn't exist. None of this would exist if the Root Doctor timeline imprint is still there. So obviously, obviously Chibnall is going to fix it so that way he can have fan service in Series 13. And Series 13 may be fan service. I mean, it may be a thing where, unlike Moffat, he has past companions show up a lot, which I said, why not? If the Doctor's on Earth so much, he's bound to bump into companions. So why not bump into an ambassador, like supposedly Tegan Javanka is an ambassador, or she's something. Joe Grant, I mean, Martha Jones with Mickey Smith, they're mercenaries. I mean, you're bound to bump into
endless
somebody, a companion. And I said the perfect lead-in for the 60th would be about the companions. That they see a threat, they try to communicate with each other, they try to deal with the threat because they can't reach the Doctor, and then boom, you have tons of companions, and the kicker would be not just Jodie's Doctor, but that the other doctors are plucked from time, and they appear older because they're not supposed to be there. So you would have an older seventh doctor, you would have an older eighth doctor, you would have older, you would have an older Colin Baker's doctor. You know what I'm saying? You would have these things.
You know what, Joe? You should write for the BBC, seriously. Because I can't imagine anyone coming up with a great story like that. I mean, that is following the lines of Donna Noble's last one, obviously, with all the companions getting together to try and contact the doctor. But you could, if you sent that signal out, it contacts all the doctors, and it could be all very similar. And I don't think anyone would mind that, because that was one of the most fantastic episodes ever, bringing everyone together. And it had Daleks in it, so I was happy. So, all of these possibilities, it's just, we have no idea what Chibs is doing, and it's so frustrating. We can't even, you can't even logically surmise what he's doing, because he just breaks rules left, right, and centre. It's just, you can take calculated guesses with most shows, but this one, I can't call it at all. I can surmise. I like the alternate timeline. I really do. But we could be totally wrong, Joe.
I know. I want to talk to Gary for a second. Gary, that's been out for months. I know that somebody did videos on it now, but we've covered that a while ago.
Yeah, quite
about
a
while ago about the timeless child and Kenneth from another world and had regenerations stolen by the Time Lords. We don't know if that's the case, because again, it could be that somebody posted something and they're believing it right away. I until I see the episode, we're gonna have to use judgment. But that is not news, Gary. That's been around for months. We've been talking about on the Whovians cast. So no, that's okay. That's okay. But we have to cover we have to cover all rumors, because again, we heard that, and I said in the cast too, I said, if you have it that the Time Lords are like torturing a child alien for regeneration energy, that would make the Doctor be ashamed to be called the Time Lord. And now you're changing the whole dynamic of the Time Lords, where they're evil. Like, I mean, anybody that would have a child alien and torture it within an inch of its life to experiment on it, a child alien, even a child in general, right? That is despicable, disgusting, and I can't see him doing that, because I know the Time Lords are assholes, but I didn't think they were that much assholes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be that, I mean, they're supposed to be an advanced civilization that don't do shit like that. So if that's the case, I mean, I would not want to see that. And hopefully that's not true. There's a lot of things that come out and people, and then it ends up not being true. Like, remember they said the Doctor was going to have a cat and shit. He never had a cat. And, they said a lot of different things. Like, so nothing has happened. They said that at one point in time that the Doctor was going to counter many different masters, and that the Doctor causes the master to regenerate and go through this whole cycle up until Roger Delgado, which that never happened either. There's so much nonsense out there that doesn't come to pass. So I'm hoping that doesn't come to pass. But again, we don't know for sure. So
I like the thought of multiple masters.
Yeah, because I originally heard that Charles Dance was supposed to be an older calculating master to Jodie, and that would have been really cool, because he would have been calm, collected. He would have probably pulled the other masters out of time to mess with her, but sort of he would be a master that wasn't kind of insane, but yet was just calculated and smart, and just was like a chess piece master, trying to put all the players in the appropriate time for him to strike. That would have been a great thing as Charles Dance master.
Yeah.
Because it would have been it would have been something for an older. It would have been like a worthy opponent.
A homage for classic.
Yeah, definitely a worthy opponent. And I would have liked to see that. Now, Rassilon, I would have liked to see Rassilon come back wanting revenge because Rassilon was kicked off Gallifrey. So
yes, he was.
You could have a thing where Gallifrey is destroyed, but he's alive, and he's like, "Well, I'm alive because of you, Doctor, because you kicked the High Council of Gallifrey. I wasn't there when it got blown up." So it'd be like, "Oh, you could have a whole thing like that." Or Rassilon behind the scenes regenerated, trying to fix. You could have like a young 20-year-old that could be, say, Rassilon, trying to fix how to restore Gallifrey.
All this is possible. As
I'm just creating this stuff.
Yeah,
so like,
I know, but you're right. Rassilon wasn't on Gallifrey if it's been destroyed.
Right.
So, there are all sorts of scenarios with all.
And Omega could come back too, Paul. Right? Like he could come back too now that.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, that's. We got trolls in here.
Yeah.
I see. How annoying is that?
Yeah. Well, you poke a stick.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I know who these trolls are. Some type of crew, I bet. But anyway, it happens.
Oh, Paul, we're just bouncing theories, sweetheart. They're not insider info. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just no more young characters. Omega, should definitely come back though.
Yeah, I think the whole trio of Rassilon, Omega, and the other would be an interesting story too.
Honestly, they're not going to do the other because again, they go against Big Finish canon, with the exception of the Doctor. So the other doesn't exist. I hate to say it to people who are Big Finish people, but the Doctor Who is never, other than say that the Eighth Doctor's companions exist because of Big Finish, because we've never really had anything with the Eighth Doctor. I don't count anything as canon other than certain things of the Eighth Doctor. You know what I'm saying? Again, like they would have to give royalties. They would have to pay Big Finish. It's not going to happen. The other doesn't exist. It's a thing like you wouldn't count there was a comic book, I think, where the Master was going into a black hole and used up all his regenerations except for one to survive the black hole. That's not canon either. I mean, there's a lot of different things out there. I mean, look what they're doing. It's supposed to be canon. It's not canon that the Doctor's dating Graham in a comic book. That's not canon.
No,
so
that's not.
Like, please, and in the book forms, which is not canon either. They don't communicate with Jim though, because obviously they make Yaz gay in the book form, but Yaz is not gay in the real series. So it's stuff that they don't communicate with, that the BBC doesn't acknowledge, but they don't say that, they don't say it's not canon, but it's not canon. You know what I'm saying? Look at how they did the haunting of Villa Diodati. They don't care about Big Finish because it's not canon. So, I mean, like, they don't have to answer how, the Eighth Doctor still met up with, Mary Shelley. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to answer that because they don't have to make it where Big Finish is canon or protect it. They're just not going to acknowledge it, So, that the Eighth Doctor's companions exist from the Doctor Who episode Night of the Doctor, but you don't know in what context they exist. Like, is all of Eighth Doctor Big Finish canon, or is it just the fact that the companions from Big Finish exist, but not the adventures? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to do that, Paul.
I just like the story of that, along with everything else. It's, we're surmising on all different levels here. And, I mean, it's not like Chibs didn't pull something from Big Finish with the latest one.
Of course, I'm sure. Well, it's not him writing it though. That's the whole point. It's not.
Yeah,
him.
No, Max.
He didn't. It's not Chibnall pulling. He didn't write that. So,
no, you're right. You're right.
It could be a coincidence because I don't think she deliberately went to steal from that. I think that was a coincidence because you could say Frankenstein and Cybermen and just do a story. You don't know if somebody did that already. So, I think that wasn't intentional.
No, and I'll give Maxine her dues, as I did in the stream. I thought, well, it held my attention from start to finish. So, which is the first time since Jodie became the Doctor You know, so yeah, there are so many scenarios. If you alter the timeline, you could bring back God knows whoever from wherever.
Well, I thought Drax, Gary was talking about Drax. I honestly thought that Drax appeared in the Murder on the Orient Express type of the thing that they did. That the reason why he let that person fix the TARDIS was because he was Drax in hiding, and he was a mechanic, if you remember. And when would the Doctor ever let anybody fix the TARDIS other than a Time Lord, let's say Missy? He never, ever in history let anybody touch the TARDIS to fix it, unless it was his best friend Drax that he kind of knows but doesn't want him to know. He knows his secret, but he gave him the honor of fixing the TARDIS just to be like, with Drax will question, does he know I'm Drax or not? So technically, I think that guy is Drax, but they never said it.
No,
you know, because again, a lot of them, maybe Drax didn't know he was Drax, because when the Time War happened, Time Lords were running for the hills with chameleon archers, so they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So he would have the knowledge to fix the TARDIS, but not that he's the Time Lord himself.
Possibly. Yeah. That was good, the Mummy on the Orient Express.
Yes. Yeah, I said murder. Mummy, I meant, So, yeah. So, Morbius, I don't think they would bring back. I think he's just dead.
Morbius is such a complicated character. I mean, he's one of my favorites, but yeah, it is very complicated.
You have to question, like, why he couldn't regenerate, though. Like, even if he was just a brain, wouldn't the regeneration energy lie in the brain?
Well, at that point, could they not regenerate past a certain point, and he was keeping himself alive, and that's why he had his,
that could
brain in a jar. That's how I sort of saw it.
And he had no more regeneration energy.
Yeah, and he wanted.
But wouldn't he try to get you? Wouldn't the goal be to get regeneration energy? I guess
that's what I thought he was trying to do with the Doctor, was nick his regeneration. I may be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
yeah, I reviewed it a while ago too.
Yeah. Paul might know. He watches all the classics. Regeneration energy is RTD retcon.
Well, I never counted the regeneration energy. I never counted as a regeneration with the Metacrisis Doctor, but obviously they did.
Well, yeah.
Because I always thought that it'd have to be complete regeneration, meaning you would have to change your face in order for it to count. Because if you're saying that counts, then you would have to. I mean, then you're getting really complicated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's then technically. I mean, here's the thing: if the Doctor ran out of regenerations, technically, in my mind, she can go to Donna Noble, grab that regeneration, because obviously, for Donna Noble to still have regeneration energy, that means she has one regeneration.
Yeah.
So it's like a battery recharging itself. And if you remember, Capaldi kept holding back the regeneration energy, and it kept charging itself and charging itself and charging itself, and it wasn't completed. That means, and then you would count a regeneration for the Daleks that he used, but I don't count that. So that's why there has to be something fixed with the Metacrisis one, because unless you change your face, it shouldn't count. But technically, Donna Noble should have that regeneration, not that it was lost, in my opinion.
Well, it was split between her and the Metacrisis Doctor, wasn't it? Because he was created.
But it still worked in her when the Master took over the Earth.
Yes.
And she used the regeneration energy to knock them out.
Yeah. So
she has the regeneration energy still.
Yeah. Yeah. Or some of it.
She still has it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bizarre one, because we had 12 regenerations, and I knew they were going to do something to continue it on, otherwise they wouldn't have started 2005. There would be no point otherwise, having 3 Doctors, and that would be it. But I don't know, it's
We're talking about everything but the finale, I know.
Yeah.
We're kind of afraid what's going to happen in the finale.
Yeah, we're all got big pits in our stomachs, to be honest. None of us are looking forward
Very
to
nervous.
it. Yeah.
So we're going to have to deal with this. I know tomorrow, supposedly, we're all going to be pissed off, according to Chris Chibnall.
Well, no, I'll be pissed off. I won't be pissed off tonight because I won't watch it tonight. I don't like to go to bed angry, as you well know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a cast
in the morning.
I'll do a cast at night, but supposedly we're all going to be pissed.
I expect a horrendous cliffhanger with Cannon destroyed, and then I'm expecting it to be put right in the finale. That would be my hope.
It would be your hope, yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's going to go there and destroy Cannon, and then he's going to fix it in the finale. But we don't know. Chibnall could do anything.
I know.
And that's why we're all so nervous about it all.
Well, with the regeneration energy, I think they need to put something in effect, because that could be a way to like ruin stories. Like use the regeneration energy to wipe out the Cybermen and Dr. Falls. It's like you use regeneration energy to wipe out the Daleks and Trenzalore. I mean, you're using it as a weapon now. Now it's getting annoying. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, it's
how many times are you going to use? Right.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to use a regeneration energy to take out the Daleks? Because they did it in Trenzalore, and they did it with Davros and the 12th Doctor, where he regenerated the Daleks in the basement, and now they were attacking them. So I honestly think that, we need to stop using regeneration energy as a tool to destroy a planet or whatever the hell you're going to do, a whole villain or something, And they need to have the Doctor stop holding back the regeneration too. Maybe it's the fact that as the Doctor gets older, they can control it more, like to hold back the regeneration. But I don't really like that, because then you could have tons of adventures as a Doctor regenerating, and that's not good.
Yeah, Paul's right there. Regeneration needs to go away. The sonic pleasure toy needs to go away for a while, also.
Or rules with the regeneration energy.
Yeah, see, the trouble is they've already done it, so it's part of the story now. But you can't have it one way or the other. But again, I mean, in Spyfall, she used the ultimate get out of jail free card with Bill and Ted.
But it wasn't just him though, because Moffat did that too. Though I pointed that out years ago. Moffat did that with the Big Bang and the Big Bang one.
Yeah, that was slightly.
He went back in time. He helped himself with the Sonic. He helped, like, they left what was the thing?
It was a big reset button.
It was. He took that. Yeah. Moffat's whole point was to make rules based on the parody itself of Bill and Ted, helping yourself. Russell T Davies never really did that, but Moffat's rules of time was that, and Chibnall adopted what Moffat's rules are rather than make his own. So
Moffat did it more subtly. I mean, Chibnall, that was a slap in the face with a fish. I'm sorry.
Well, Moffat did it too with the test. What is it? The Tesselector, where the Doctor left like envelopes for him and Amy Warrior River.
Yeah, no, that was going back. Yeah.
That is also Bill and Ted. That's the same thing.
Yes, it is. But
he constantly did that, Moffat, though. So it wasn't just Chibnall.
Moffat wasn't my favorite showrunner either. I was looking forward to a new showrunner, and then we got Tibbs, and I now regret ever saying that. So
I think the TARDIS needs to change. I don't like the way the TARDIS is.
None of us like.
I don't like the Sonic either.
No.
I don't like using alien tech for the Sonic.
No. So it looks like someone's thrown up in the TARDIS at the moment. It really does.
Yeah, look, supposedly the companions, if they die, they're brought back for the Dalek thing, and then they're done.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're not done. I don't know. I don't know what this contract negotiations
they could be converted.
See, the thing is, people could think that they're gone. They might be in Series 13. It's so damn early.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. I don't think Jodie's going to be with new companions. I think Chibnall doesn't give a shit. I think that, it would be harder for him to reestablish new companions now. So he's just going to be lazy, and he's going to keep the people he has, I think.
I don't think Ryan's going to continue because he's just taken on a brand new series as the lead.
I think he will because this filming is so late for Doctor Who that he could film a whole damn series.
I suppose if he can be asked. He never looks asked in it, so.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I mean, it's so far off, so anything could. The scripts could change, the writers could change. I mean, that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could have somebody that's writing the episode and decide that they're going to quit Doctor Who and they can't use that episode.
Yes,
that could happen. So, it's just
I all right. Out on a limb, I'm going to go. Right, this is my guess for tonight. So, she travels. We know she's in Ireland at some point, but she's in the far future with the lone Cybermen. We've seen the pictures. They're all strapped up to that one Borg alcove, as someone called it in our stream the other day.
Well,
let's say
the Borg are taken from the Cybermen anyway, so it's not really like...
No, I know that, but it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
But say all the companions are converted into Cybermen, right? And we're left on a cliffhanger where Jodie literally fires herself back to create Ruth, so Ruth can save them, and we're left with Canon destroyed, right? I reckon it's something along those lines. That's my call, but I could be completely wrong.
Right.
Because everything is reset if the timeline's put back and the companions will come back. So you can kill them, you can convert them, you can do what you like with them.
Well, look at Rory, you know?
Yeah.
So, he became plastic.
He did.
His soul went into like an auton or something somehow. So, I do expect, I'm hoping that that's the case, that she's created like a meta-crisis doctor, that I'm hoping that Chibnall copies the meta-crisis doctor thing, but with a twist to fix this and then turn it back. So in other words, she is never really, maybe she was never really a doctor at all, but she was like an imprint, like the next doctor or something that was created just as a backup failsafe to stop this thing from happening. It could be
we see her creator in the cyber war to help fight. It's the only way to stop.
And how was she created? Is she alternate timeline or is she?
No idea.
Yeah, we don't know yet. So, we don't know yet. So
we're guessing. We've got to wait, unfortunately. And this pit in my stomach isn't going away.
No. So we're gonna get out of here now. I hope you guys enjoy the Doctor Who episode today.
We're all fingers crossed here.
And I'll be back tonight. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.